We are so sad you made it on this sad stream. Dangy's down sad. Not even down bad. It's a little worse being down sad. But we'll talk a little bit about apes and punks. I know Lou has gotten a lot off his chest already, but Babs isn't here, so we got to talk behind his back about apes, do some DeFi, talk some rugs, talk some terrible drop mechanics, other stuff. We're going shopping with Trey's wallet too, so let's get after it.
Club ngmi are not financial advisors. The content on this show is for educational purposes only. Do not overinvest by a lot. Oh God, do your own research. We need likes and subscribes to go up. Can't devs do something? We are.
Club ngmi.
I don't know why I set myself up for failure, because it's hard to get the timing down right, because I don't want like dead air after Hard Rock Nick and then I hit the intro at the right time. Again, down sad. So Lou, how's your week been this week in DeFi NFT world?
It's all right. Saturday was just a crazy day. I was like getting ready to go out because it's a Saturday night, and then just like every coin plummets at the same time, and people are it was crazy. Gas went way up because everyone trying to get out of their farms. I mean, it just showed a lot of people are over levered by a lot. And
there was a rescue mission.
Still, you'd think they'd learn their lesson,
and then they go right back in. Yeah.
Well, there was a liquidation rescue mission in our Discord too. I'm not going to out who it was, but that was pretty neat. I saw the back end of it afterwards because they got helped out and then paid it back eventually. But yeah, liquidation's real. I checked one when I first got up, and luckily I wasn't liquidated. Very small back, but yeah, people are definitely overinvested by a lot, as you said. Trey, welcome back.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, so what have you feel like I got my energy back. Well, I've been MIA pretty much the last 2 weeks with COVID. I tested positive on Thanksgiving, so that was fun. Literally on Thanksgiving Day. So Thursday and Friday of Thanksgiving were pretty rough. But for the most part, just been super tired. Like just completely zapped me of all my energy. So I know I replied to King in the Discord. I said, I've pretty much exclusively been sleeping and catching up on some Netflix shows. That's pretty much all I have the energy and mental energy to even entertain. So last 2 weeks have been, just, some much needed downtime. That's all it's been it.
I was going to ask you that because I am down. I'm not down. I'm not actually sad. I'm fine, but I'm mentally exhausted, I think is the right way to put it, from this DeFi and NFT stuff. And I've hit a personal cold streak. And so that just sucks mentally. So I was thinking, like, I messaged a couple of buddies who know I'm in this, and I said, maybe I need to find other interests other than NFTs and crypto, maybe just anything else. So what was it like to have a couple of weeks off?
It was doing this stuff. This was truly like the first time that I have removed myself completely. Like even other times when I'm not as active, like I'm still checking in on the Discord and like following what's going on. And I would still browse Twitter and stuff for the most part over the last couple of weeks, but like getting into Discord and just following like the day-to-day stuff, like pretty much non-existent. Other than like, I think Babs or you guys let me know that mother effers were dropping and stuff like that. So like I got in on some of that stuff and I still followed it a little bit, but it was actually pretty refreshing to just be able to pretty much I didn't even really worry about Discord. I kind of just chilled, stuck to my, I caught up on Succession and Yellowstone. So kind of just whipped through both of those while I was out.
I feel like we got more requests for drop alerts at one point, and then one day we had like 10 drop alerts,
which I love.
Like, we don't have drop alerts anymore. Then we start sending them, and then of course everyone complains about every drop alert. So
no, I loved that because that was like the perfect time for drop alerts to come back for me, because I was like, oh cool, I can just Dangy will just ping me every time something's dropping. I can get a Dangy confidence score.
Yeah, I think we got to keep doing it when we know of them, but we haven't had many good mints lately, or many exciting mints. Not even good or bad about putting value on it, but exciting ones. I guess looking back, self scouting. This will be a decent transition. I should have dropped alert for Art Blocks Curated in case people were, reading a great book, doing their day jobs, and they forgot about Curated or whatever. But this was a pretty weird Art Blocks Curated. So my personal journey with this was, I know we were excited about it before because, this guy is notable. He's well known, etc. And they're starting at 15 ETH for the Dutch auction, which is high. They always say this, and I believe it. They don't expect anybody to buy up there, but that's a high price. And then I looked at the art and I was like, no, what is this? Looks like crap. And then I watched that video, which some people liked. And then it started out with at the dawn of humanity or something like that. I'm like, okay, I'm out. I can't. Like, you're just
cheesy.
Too self-important. Like,
that is pretty cheesy.
You're doing generative art. Like, I get it. It can be really cool and meaningful, and people can get a lot out of that. But like, the dawn of humanity, seriously, buddy. So I kind of shut off from there. So I still fought along with that Art Blocks drop, but it got all the way down to 0.25 and then minted out, and now the floor is above 2 already.
The curated did. Okay, so I didn't end up following it. I showed some interest in it earlier today, but then I was just like, you know what, I'm not doing this. You guys were talking like about whether you were going to fire at 3 ETH prior to it minting, and it got all the way down to 0.25.
Yeah, I mean,
that's crazy.
And we're seeing it around 2 right now. So I don't think guessing that it wasn't going to go under 2 before was that crazy. It seems like maybe were people just, is this just the new strategy? Like, I won't go until you go.
Yeah. I mean, that's been the strategy this whole time, though. I mean, why did it take this long for it to culminate to that point?
My thought is people don't think right now they'd be able to resell it for 5. So they're not going to buy it 3. That's my thought. But getting that far under 1 seemed kind of wild to me.
Oh, that's definitely wild. I mean, when you buy at like 2 or 3 ETH, you got to take into account, even if you are on a Dutch and you're trying to get ahead of the crowd, I mean, you're still paying a decent amount in gas. And then that 10% fee between the OpenSea and then the creator and Art Blocks getting their cut, I mean, that's pretty killer when it comes to profit. So I mean, if you buy it like 2 ETH, you really got to sell for, like, to feel good, you got to sell above 3 at least. So it's kind of tough to grind out profit on those Art Blocks Curateds when you're buying at such a high price point as it is.
It kind of brought us back to before they did Dutch auctions.
Yeah.
Like, this is what the action of it would have been.
Oh yeah.
If it was that like 0.1, 0.2 initial drop. So
that's
I don't know,
great
maybe
point.
I mean, should Art Blocks switch back?
Yes. They absolutely should. I mean, why not try it at this point, right?
In a way.
Well, and they don't have as much interest per se right now because the EV is non-existent with it used to be with the Dutch auction. So why not? I mean, what do you have to lose going back to it, right? I mean, maybe the artists probably don't like it as much because then, right? I mean, that's an interesting case study. Like, are the artists going to make more by having their drop be much more hyped? And selling at a lower price point so they can kind of drive those secondary sales, or is it better to get all that initial stuff, right away?
It's just a description.
Oh my God,
thank you, Eric, for the idea. Since the dawn of humanity, the moon's phases have fascinated humans, influencing any number of activities on Earth, including ocean tides, seasons, harvests, migrations, hunting, crime, sleeping, sex, and has inspired countless works of art. The first lunar calendar, dated to 32,000 BC, was discovered, drawn on animal bone in caves. It's believed hunters during the last ice age used these portable lunar calendars to anticipate the behavior of different animals like mammoths. Since then, our moon has been imprinted across all our ancient and modern cultures, even becoming the system from which our Gregorian calendar evolved from. In the present day, investors in crypto have used the moon symbolically. Yeah, so...
You seem exhausted just reading that. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. We had the art show where, of course, we don't get the art, we don't understand the art, we don't understand the history of it, but that it just felt like a lot for me.
It didn't seem like an art blocks drop.
That's a good, yeah.
Like it seemed like he was doing his own thing. So why was he doing it through art blocks at all? Because he tweeted a few times about that where he's making this like his own thing, but launched it on art blocks. But he's regenerating it over time based on like the moon cycles, and I don't know. It just felt weird that it was connected to art blocks.
Ori, I'm far too sober for this kind of conversation. I would need much more THC in my body, I believe, to talk about this. No one gets art. I just don't. Well, and this, Lou, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here. You've said earlier that influencers no longer matter. I believe the catalyst here was that Pranksy swept the floor of this Art Blocks Curated.
But it already got up over 1 at that point.
Oh,
didn't it?
Honestly,
I feel like Pranksy's always a little bit late to the party now. He always comes in and sweeps these floors when it's already pumped a little bit, actually.
Because when he swept it, it became 1.45.
Oh, okay.
But like throughout the day, it ran right up to 0.6, like immediately. And then it seemed like it flattened out a little around 0.8. So maybe he brought it from 0.8 to 1.4 or something like that.
Yeah. I bought at 0.5, and since it got down to 0.25, I was just ready to cut losses, and I didn't like how mine looked at all. So I sold very early at 0.61, and I made a whopping 0.05 Ethereum off of it.
Yeah.
Who's that guy? Some guy there was a second guy who had like 50 of them.
And now he's doing pretty good,
right?
If he wants to sell.
Yeah, he's chilling now.
It seemed like there were a few different people that were buying this one in bulk.
Maybe it's just a different crowd than normally gets these art blocks.
So I get the influencers don't matter thing. It's kind of become a little bit of a bit, but because originally what happened was Gary V had Crypto Goons on a Spaces, and it didn't pop off. So that's where I was like, influencers don't matter, because it went from 0.25 to 0.3 and just stayed there. And then there was another one that day, I think, that someone tweeted about it and nothing happened. So it was kind of a joke that I was making off of that. But then, I mean, I don't know, maybe that is a talking point. Like, do influencers matter as much as they maybe used to? Because I think a lot of people are kind of over some of this stuff in general. Like Gary is currently pumping those flower girls, right? He pumped the brain vomits. They went up to like 0.9 ETH, and then they came all the way back down. So is it more like if there's an influencer pump, it just means more reason to, that's when you should be selling. Sell into that pump. You don't want it. You don't want to see the pump happen.
That's my personal strategy nowadays, because I still believe we're more into winter than we are into summer. So yeah, I see a pump, I go, great, I can get out. Goodbye.
And then things die like super quickly. Like a couple weeks ago, like Groupies and Galactic Apes and a few others, like Robotos, even like ran up pretty like above 1, I think, for even some of them. And then now I'm looking, and they're all right back down to like 0.3 or 0.4 now, like right where they were chilling at when we all thought it was winter. And then we got that pump, and now it's just right back to where they were. So I don't know. Things are, it is a weird market dynamic for sure. But yeah, it seems like a lot of stuff is very short-lived if it's not very, very blue chip or very, very hyped.
Yeah. Eric is asking in the chat, is chat engagement good for the algo? I'm trying here. Eric, if there's one thing that you know about us as a show, we are algo maxis. We are pumping out things geared towards the algorithm.
Oh man.
Hashtags. We just love it. So yeah, I've heard that it's good for the algo, so please keep going. We're gonna need you to reach level 50 to get to the whitelist. Okay.
I have an algo story.
Some are saying
not $ algo, but I have an algorithm story. So I posted something to Lucky Trader's TikTok the other day, and the thumbnail was me, and I spoke for the first few seconds, and then it was like just a whatever clip from one of our episodes, and now like 5 of my IRL friends started following them. How's that for an algo? One of them saw my head in there, right? Or it's because it came from my phone or something, and now all of a sudden they just started following it. I was like, oh, well, now I'm caught.
There you go. Yeah, doxed.
Yeah, definitely like and subscribe.
That's right. So we do need to Eric just doxed my rank in the Discord. Yeah.
My
yeah,
rank.
Eric, I do need to get a job.
He passed me.
Really?
That's what he's saying. Yeah.
That's crazy. It's gonna be
that Club DeFi channel.
Exactly. And that ties into we're gonna have a special guest come on in a little bit. We're gonna get some alpha from them, I believe. And it ties into DeFi. So those of you who are close listeners, you may know who I'm alluding to. Allegedly they're gonna come hang out in a little bit. So we'll talk more DeFi stuff, and I believe they'll be more equipped even to guide Sherpa Trey into putting his ETH to work in the DeFi streets. And maybe in a safe way, maybe in a not safe way, because oh boy, we've got some stories for you. So let's see. Do we want to do board apes versus punks stuff? I honestly don't care. We could. Lou's kind of shrugging. Trey, do you care about apes and punks?
I mean, I don't have either. I guess I have exposure to apes through mutant apes, but I would still rather have a punk. I mean, that's just me.
I guess a different question we could talk about similar to it though. Is the apes coming down bad for the overall market? That's more my concern than apes passing them.
Are apes coming down?
I thought they were. I thought that they were still like
punks have come down 25% or whatever over the weekend, and people are just down on punks. Is that bad in general?
For the NFT market in general, this seems pretty exclusive to just the FUD or whatever you want to call it surrounding the copyright issues. Like, I don't think it really speaks to the NFT market as a whole. Normally, I would say in other circumstances, if the punk floor was coming down, I would agree. But in this circumstance, it just feels like it's kind of isolated. So I don't think it's really indicative of the NFT market as a whole, really. Because you're seeing apes hang in there pretty tough right now. It doesn't seem like everything is, following punks like everything follows Bitcoin, or at least
I guess I thought of it because of the art blocks today. Like art blocks and punks, maybe. People are down on those because that's what really drove a lot of the bull markets in the summer months there. So that was what I was thinking about earlier today.
Yeah, Eric is saying the quiet part out loud. He's
right. Like, what are these people doing with their 70?
Yeah, where does their money go? And I can tell you, this is very on brand. But I have, because I'm a corruption holder, I have Dom wallet alerts up. Dom took the 80 ETH that he got for his punk and put it right to Coinbase immediately. So he's not sweeping your bag.
Straight to the centralized exchange.
Selling it out.
Yeah, I mean,
he's paying some bills. Maybe 100%.
I mean, it's end of the year, man.
I mean, that could literally be your tax bill for the year. I mean, right there, like, boom, you just sell a punk and there's your, covers your taxes for the year.
I also think punks, the thesis for, probably, for being honest, he had a pretty good year.
He did.
For punks, the thesis for why they were more valuable than the other NFTs is also why they were unique, and why I don't think they're really market setters anymore. I think Bored Apes are more that now. And that's because the apes are building, punks are not. Punks are like Bitcoin, like we've mentioned. They don't do anything, essentially. Apes do everything. They get celebrities to introduce themselves, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I think the apes are more indicative of what the projects need to be nowadays versus punks being just historical figures. So if I had to pick one, I'm boring and old, so I'd probably agree with Trey that I would rather have a punk. Also because just the Bored Ape kind of hoopla doesn't really appeal to me, and I just called it
yeah,
hoopla.
it's like a time horizon thing. Like I'm more confident in a punk long term, but I think short term, you could definitely make the case that Bored Apes. At this point, Bored Apes might be more likely to hit 100 before punks hit 100 again. You don't know, I don't know.
I would agree.
It's just a momentum.
I mean, I'm
game.
the same way. I think a lot of people are getting caught up in recency bias, though. Yeah. Like there has been a lot of hype around apes and stuff, but we got to remember they're not even. What are they? Are they even 8 months old at this point? They haven't even existed for over a year yet. Whereas punk stayed all the way back to 2017. They're always, you can't take that like provenance away from them. I know that they're not the first, but they are the first digital collectible that had any sort of backing or provenance on the ETH blockchain. So I mean, whether they were first or whether Curio Cards was first, whatever. I think they're going to have that provenance still in like 5 years.
So similar to these other blue chips. So we had Punk's Hero releasing their coins. There's 2 now, and that pumped their floors as well pretty good. I just went and looked at the Meta Heroes floor, which is right now 3.77. Well, that seems bugged. Maybe.
It got up to over 5 at one point, didn't it? When all the Adidas stuff was coming out,
Adidas bumped it up to 5 for sure.
Yeah,
because I was looking. It's funny. The day before that, I was talking to Babs because I was like, I was like itching to buy something in that range, and so I was talking to him, and then I was like, oh no, I'll hold and I'll buy a Clone X instead. And then the next day, all of a sudden, like Meta Heroes went up to 5. I was like, well, if I just bought it, then I could have made a quick ETH, but
paid for your Clone X.
Yeah, exactly.
The people are tired of punks versus apes, so that's fine. While we're waiting for our special guest to appear, I'll pivot because we recently had a vote. We had nominations in the Discord for Ori of the Month. If you remember, Ori, we've crowned Ori of the Month as basically member of the month, essentially for the group, and it's because Ori's story was incredible. So this month's, I haven't even talked to you all about this, but it was overwhelming in the voting that Iron Mikey is the Ori of the Month, and that dude, Mikey, is a grinder, and I love it. I can't even think about how much work he puts in on these things with Discords and just grinding the whitelist. And the best part is finding them and bringing them into the group is the best part about what he does.
Very organized too.
There's a spreadsheet. There's color codes. The brighter the green, the more confident. He's got a color coding system. I love it so much. And
love Mikey.
His basement is incredible. I think that's the most underrated part. If you've ever seen his basement photos, we love to see that. So I am personally very interested to see what Mikey is going to put on his mug because, Ori had the Animatheriums, which was just iconic. And then Chung has Defaced, which is, it's a very iconic Chung NFT as well. Mikey, I don't really have. Is that his?
I think he's got a purr as his PFP. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I wonder what he's going to pick. We'll see, because he could also pick. Oh, this is a good one from David, the water chestnut mug.
Ooh, yeah.
I like that. So, shout out to Mikey. Also, self-involved goings-ons. We had 2 giveaways in the last 2 days in the Discord. We gave away this happened before they were pumping and then while they were pumping. Gave away one of the little baby ape, whatever. What was the exact one of this one? Ape Kids Club.
Kids Club. Yeah.
Ape Kids Club, which pumped during that time.
And
also
baby apes.
Are those the original ones?
Well, their original project was the original one. I guess that's how you word it. Like they had an initial project that came out in I don't know, June or something. But this is their 10,000 version of it. They had 200.
Oh.
It's like Galactic Apes versus their original ones. It's similar to that.
I see. And I think the Ape Kids Club might have a better floor than Galactic Apes right now.
Oh, really?
They were down bad.
They're down bad.
Damn.
Yeah, I think they hit 0.2 at one point.
Yeah,
The Galactic Apes then?
0.37. Okay.
Oh man, that's sad.
That is sad, but I wonder when missions are going to show up. So it's that's kind of how
kind of got a
cycle
lot
is
of
now.
these. Yeah, you kind of got a lot of these projects that are sitting like now we're actually kind of waiting for a lot of these projects to deliver on their promises of games, and some are kind of popping up and we're seeing which ones actually are still working on it and which ones are just full of shit.
Well, and that's always the big question. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm a Dom Maxi, and he put out a video of a game that he has, and it's a 2D scrolling skateboarder guy, and I'm like, that does nothing for me. And then, not to rehash it, but Bored Apes are going to have a mobile game coming out soon, but that's been delayed. Are people really going to want to play it? There's some incentive to get money, but is that fun?
People do seem pretty excited for it.
Could you imagine if they stuck the landing on that? I mean, apes would go nuts. I mean, absolutely bananas.
Apple, well, you saw the statement Apple made about it? Apple wouldn't let them have it because that's true. Because you can't sell NFTs on there. I believe so. Basically, how I read it was Apple isn't getting any sort of cut, so they didn't want to do it. That's how I read it.
Of the NFT sales stuff?
Yeah.
Huh.
Since you can't like buy and sell on the app itself. So I don't know. Yeah, it was an Apple issue. They should have let the Android users still play.
What is the Vox floor now? Because I sold my last one
today,
like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I saw it on my WGMI. I mean, it was like the floor was like 1.8 or something.
Got over 1, but I think today brought it back down, right, Dangy?
Well, I don't even know what the floor is.
Yeah, well, it's still 1.8. Okay.
This is why I'm down sad. Is part of why I'm down sad is for this Vox stuff. So unfortunately, this would be a perfect role for Babs because Babs is sick. Therefore, he's probably cranky, and he was involved in this drop from the start. So there was a Miranda, but I'll do my best. I'm mostly sad. I don't conjure up too much mad. There was a drop for Mirandus, which is a box. Basically, it's an 1155 that you can then redeem for a different token that'll be a 721 that you can use in the game, which are going to be, per their website, less valuable than the current Voxes in Townstar, but still valuable. So to do this drop, you had to convert your ETH over to Gala coin, which would pump up the price of Gala coin, which is the native token over there in Townstar. One of the native tokens. I'm not exactly sure the tokenomics. And then you have to move it over to your separate wallet over in Gala. And then you have to wait patiently. And then you have to click a button very quickly to get the box. And then you wait. And then you wait. And then you wait. So this started at 5 Eastern. So I was prepping from like 4:15. And then I was ready to be done at like 5:15. Like, okay, quick drop, in and out. I'm not going to try to flip these. I'll hold them. Goodbye. 5:15 shows up. Still not ready. 5:30. Still not ready. What Ray? 5:45. Still not ready. 6 not ready. 7? No, like 6 it was getting ready. And then they started dropping the original ones for the gold Gala holders. Just you could not get through this website at all. It was just broken. It was like Parallel, but much worse in that you would try to click a button to submit your payment, and then it wouldn't process. So the first 888 is done. And then we come in, and they say, okay, let's wait another 15 minutes to 6:45, and then we're going to do it again for the rest of them, for the 8,000. So then you try to do the same thing again. Yada, yada, yada. You go, and you're able to send your Gala coin through the blockchain somewhere. And then it says you're waiting. Oh my God. Art chick. That hurts. 3.94 hour girl. Wow. So you go and you send this to the ether in the middle of nowhere, and it says, okay, we're waiting to process your transfer. So basically, this is kind of like way back when Rovie World, when you would send ETH somewhere and then they would send you back an NFT. It wasn't really a contract interaction. So you sent the stuff that you paid. It was about an ETH for each box. And then they would say, okay, we owe you some. But then the orders got canceled. So I sent my Gala coin out, got canceled, about 2 ETH worth. Eric sent his Gala coin out, redacted amount worth, got canceled. Babs sent his out, I believe, got canceled. So a lot of people currently have Gala coins sent out and they don't have it back in their wallet yet, which we will get eventually. And what's happening now is the price is getting crushed because people bought it up to go participate in the drop, and now they're dumping it back down. So I don't even know what the price is right now. It doesn't matter because I don't have the coin. I'm going to get it back at some point, and it's going to be worth
some amount.
Nothing. So it's very tilting on a number of levels because it's like, okay, we're in Web3, we're in smart contract world. We're not really using smart contracts the way that you could to make this a more efficient process where I give you money, you give me NFT. No, it's I give you money, maybe I get it back. So I give you money and then I get it back at some point, maybe. And also we're using Web 2 software as checking things out. So it's sneaker bot world. I'm not saying this was botted. I don't know that it was, but why are we doing Web 2 stuff? And it's just painful because we also know now we know that these Mirandas and Vox drops can be very profitable for the play to earn folks just printing their town money. And that's what hurts the most, I think, is we were drug into this Vox thread in the Discord where they're very polite and kind to each other because they're all extremely rich now. And we go in there for a little drop. Hey, can I have a chance at the rarity, please, sir? And then we don't. And we literally pump their bag. We basically locked up our coins for them to have more exit liquidity.
So did you guys all have to go buy that Gala Gold thing? Because I remember buying that back during like the first Vox drop, and I still have it.
I still had it, and that I was like, okay, good. I've got a little leg up. I can get this first section, and then no, nothing.
I'm sad about the Vox pump in general because if you remember correctly on that drop, I was trying to snipe based on a bad metadata link. You had to like subtract like 72 from the ID or some stupid shit like that. So I was just like, I thought I was sniping like sheep and all the cool stuff. And then it ended up being where I paid like, 1.4 or whatever it ended up coming out to for a trucker or something. So I never ended up making my money back on those. I lost a little bit of money on Vox, but oh well.
But if you held, then you'd be okay.
If I would have held, I'd be chilling. So that's too bad. They were kind of like they just sat. I mean, Vox got shit on for the longest time. I mean, it just like sat even during the summer months. I mean, that was like through August too.
Yeah.
Where Vox just got killed. At least the floor.
What happened?
No,
I was gonna say when this game originally came out, we were told that if you didn't have a rare, it wasn't worth playing. So that's what I sold when I did at like half an ETH. And then now like the floor was 3x that. So even if mine wasn't earning much, I still would have been okay. But no, I'm happy for the people that are grinding it out and making lots of money on it.
I mean, King's just making a killing on this, isn't he?
Because he has super rare ones.
I mean, yeah, he's just it's based on rarity, isn't it?
It is.
I think so, yeah.
Good for him.
I made that noise because I looked back at one of my Vox sales and I sold one for 0.2 and has a 2.4 offer on it, just sitting there.
Oh my gosh.
I have some of those.
Yeah, I sold the bottom on those. I do that.
I didn't sell the
today.
Straight bottom, but I still lost money.
I did that with these flower girls too. I was like, okay, after what Lou was saying, after Saturday, I'm like, oh, this feels bad. And normally when price tanks, I don't feel bad, but I felt bad this time, which told me, oh, I'm overexposed a little bit. Got to chill out. So just dumped a bunch of stuff, including Flower Girls. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, who needs Babs when
Not
you have
us.
Alpha Allison coming to
Let's
hang out?
go.
How's it going, Allison?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Good.
Good.
So Allison swung in my DMs, like, oh, sorry, I got busy with work and then doing my show. And she's like, yeah, I'll come on. I'm like, well, the show's now. And she's like, what? I go, okay, yeah. So Allison's here.
Sorry.
And sorry. What's really good is, oh, that would have been funny, Eric, if we had Dabs instead of Babs. That would have been great. I really want to talk about DeFi because a lot of stuff has happened in DeFi in the past week or so, like a lot of drama, like capital D drama.
Catch me up on the deeds.
My wife likes Bravo shows, but I think the drama in this week I'm serious. Do you like drama? Does anybody else like Bravo shows?
I just like that this is the comp.
100%. Allison, do you watch Bravo shows?
I don't really watch TV.
Okay. Trey, are you a Bravo guy?
No, I'm not. Can't say I am.
Great. Well, I need Gump then, because apparently I'm alone on this island. But the drama is up there with these Bravo shows. So I want to start with not where you think I'm going to start, Allison, I don't think, but I want to start with a self-involved story. Were you around Katana at all and Samurai at all, Allison, this weekend?
I'm aware of it. I have
my
opinions about it.
I'm sure you do. So the long
I'm
story
not
short.
invested.
I am. I am. It was a wild ride. So the long story short version of this is this idea is a node, quote unquote node. It's
Yeah.
not really a node. You throw money into a hole, into a pit, and the token costs, let's say, $10. And then other people throw money into a pit and you never get it back. And you get basically reflections back, or you get paid out over time. And the idea is more people pay after you, and then you get your money, and then you make money on it. Yeah.
This is what you're describing Hex right now as well, I believe.
Yes. Those are the tokenomics of Hex. Correct. So there's a few of these. Ring is one. Katana or Samurai is another, which popped up. And I got into Samurai very early, and then price ran up extremely fast. It was very exciting. I stayed up very late on Saturday night into Sunday, watching price go up to about 300, which was like a 10x or so. And this was like a forever. Like, oh, good, I'm going to have this forever. And then price tanked, like literally down to zero. Where is it?
We have video.
The video of the guy.
Wow. So the market cap is $2.168 trillion. And now the market, it went to zero.
Literally, it went from 300 to $1 at one point. So what happened was there's a contract exploit in both Ring and Katana's contract where somebody can withdraw funds and then dump it. That's how it goes. That's it.
That's how a rug works.
It's it's not. I don't know if it's a rug. That's
I think it's a slow rug.
Yeah, that's like right on the edge.
Yeah, I think it's a slow rug. I think Ring is okay. I think they're just inexperienced. Samurai, I think, is a slow rug.
So
this is just me as an outsider watching the developments of yesterday, like the past 24, however many hours. That is my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope for everyone I know that's in it that I'm wrong.
So it's to me, as somebody who has a small bit of money in it, it's a distinction without a difference, whether it's a rug or not. There's an exploit and I have $0 and I can't get any dollars. So it doesn't matter whether it's an inside job or not. I'm screwed, essentially. So but rings, what baffles Allison, maybe you can tell me because you're more versed in DeFi and understand these people's brains more. Why do they keep buying the coin? What? Why? Because it happened at least 4 or 5 times where it would literally jump up to like $40 and then boom, immediately back down to zero.
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. I could tell you what's happening in our server is everyone thinks, oh my God, I'm getting such a good deal. I'm just going to keep buying more. I've seen at least 10 people have that sentiment. Oh, I don't care. The price went down, I'm buying more. How many more times are you going to do that?
Well, and it's before
It's a good question to ask.
It's before they've even closed it, because they've also, like, the devs in Katana would say, oh, we fixed it and we're trying to fix it quickly. And
Yeah, and
whatever.
then it happens again, which is why I think it's a slow rug.
It could be, because all they were doing was they were blacklisting addresses, which everybody on this and most people knowing it knows, oh, if you can do it in one spot, then you can go deploy a separate contract that does the same old thing on a different address. Okay. It's not hard to do that. Once you do it once, you have the code. So that was fun to experience. That's part of the reason also why I sold a bunch of stuff off, because I'm like, oh, crypto's dumping. I got maybe rugged. Feels bad, man. I'm gonna sell these flower girls.
I like
to make
those
my number
flower
go up.
girls. I liked them. I didn't mint. I like them.
I
Did
did
you all
too,
mint
and
them?
I didn't.
I'd say a lot of our
Flower
Discord
girls.
did.
A good amount of people did.
The thesis is there. It's just my mental game, my moment of weakness. Like, bah, I can make money on these. I'm
Bad
getting-
Were
timing.
you and Mystic as well?
No, no, I was
Oh,
not.
that's good. Yeah, 'cause that's definitely rugged.
Well, I
Rugs
wish
everywhere.
Eric was here.
I mean, he kind of is. Yeah.
Basically is. Eric's participating via text. Eric, someone on Discord was involved in Mystic, and here you go. Okay, someone was involved and did okay on Mystic
You got it
before
early,
they
huh?
100% rugged. It's baffling to watch. So how much of DeFi is this, like the constant rugging and stuff, Allison, and how much of it is more tepid, stable-ish, yield farming, that kind of stuff? Or is it a choose your own adventure?
Choose your own adventure. Do you
Have you
disagree?
dabbled? No, but I mean, like, what percentage? Because I don't participate in a DeFi Discord. We're an NFT Discord that masquerades in some, or plays in some DeFi, I'd say.
Yeah, I do
what's
the
the
same
breakdown
thing
of
though.
your
I
group?
don't know why you think I'm like a DeFi expert. I'm really not.
It's because you're in that Discord that has a bunch of DeFi folks in it, so you have the general vibe of how those people operate. So are they more into like the thrill of the rug and the 100x immediately, or are they more into the slow, stable yield farming?
No, the people that I'm watching, they're straight degenning into everything. They don't care. These are the same people that are still going to buy Fiscus. They don't care.
Oh, well,
they're in early. They'll just dump on everyone that buys after them. That's their philosophy. If they make money, it's worth it. You have to spend money to make money, they think.
I mean, it's no different than NFTs over the summer, really. I mean, you're just buying everything that comes out and trying to dump it on people for more. I mean, at some point. So it's just, it doesn't come with a JPEG when you're buying a DeFi token.
Well, it go through Fiscus, Allison. Explain what happened with Fiscus as best you can.
Going to choose my words very carefully. So, wait, do you want me to tell it from my experience as being a member of that server and that team, or just in general?
I'm more interested in the broad strokes, because I don't want to put you in a bad spot, and also I think it's more interesting in the big picture, like DeFi stuff, as far as what Fiscus is, who is behind Fiscus, and then that person's backstory as well.
I don't even really know what it is. I know it's a project that's trying to bring off-chain assets on-chain, and they were looking for funding. They decided to finance the project instead of going a traditional route, that they were going to hold an NFT sale. Then those NFTs were going to guarantee you an allocation of the token. When the token swapped, it was just or when the token dropped, you would just whatever you bought in NFTs, you'd get the equivalent dollar amount in tokens when that happened. Then there was going to be a whitelist. The proceeds from the whitelist were supposed to what is so funny? We're supposed to bootstrap.
I'm just reading into your nonverbals, and they're very funny to me.
Oh, yeah. The whitelist proceeds were supposed to bootstrap the project, and then they were going to drop. Now, the first AMA I heard with them, the guy Phil, I don't know who is.
Start with Cal. Just say Cal.
Cal. He said someone had asked him like, "Oh, at what price do you anticipate this token selling for in public sale?" And he said, "Well, probably 250, but then again, it could just go right to 1,000 right away." I mean, I guess okay, all right. We did see that with what was it? Time did something like that, right? Then Klima did something similar. So, okay, whatever. Then there were other red flags. Like in the AMA, he had said things. Some members of the community had volunteered their legal services to do some deep dives into like certain legal things that he wasn't specific, just, things that the project needed. I don't know if they're lawyers. I don't really know what they are. He wasn't specific, very vague.
Bunch of buzzwords.
Yeah, like, wait a minute. There's only one law firm you should be using if you're trying to do a project of this magnitude, launch a DAO, drop a governance token, and it's definitely not the law firm of your community. And then the next thing was he said that there was going to be no vesting. So the token launches in the public sale and everyone that bought in pre-sale immediately dumps it. The whole project is trashed. Like, what is... Guy didn't know what he was talking about. This was my impression.
How did he justify, or what was the reasoning that he said for the zero vesting?
There was no reason. It was a question it was just like you were doing an AMA. I got up on stage. I asked you the question. Person got down and they immediately went on to the next question. No one really pressed it. But I had a whole list of questions because our community was supposed to have another AMA with them. And I was going to ask him, like, first of all, are you an American-based project? If you are, like, what state are you creating this DAO in? Because it's not really recognized in most states in this country. And lastly, who's your law firm? Because if you think you're going to create a DAO, drop this token, and not have some sort of legal team behind you, like the SEC is going to shut you down almost immediately. Well, not immediately, but whenever they would get around to it, like they would shut them down. Then there was a whole bunch of drama. Rumors started swirling. One particular Discord said they could no longer participate in the whitelist. And then it just all went to hell really quick after that.
Well, that part's the fun part. Like I didn't listen, but I read some of the fallout from the spaces from last night.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that you listened because you were a very interested party in this.
Yeah.
What? Can you summarize it for us? Who's Cal?
Hi, my name is Cal. I work for Fiscus. But actually, my name is really Phil. And I am a felon, and not just any felon. I was charged with 67 felonies, including running Ponzi schemes.
What? The biggest red flag of all time. Like, literally.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious.
Jail guy. Yeah.
And he admitted that in a Twitter space?
Yes.
Like, I'm a felon? Or did someone press him, like, they figured out who he was and looked him up and were like, hey, are you the Ponzi guy? Like,
this is where I have to be careful on what I say. If you just connect the dots, there's a reason why a certain server decided they could no longer participate in the whitelist sale. Then there were a lot of questions swirling in the community, like, oh, why did they pull out of this? Like, what's going on? So people started digging on their own. And it got to the point where I don't think he had a choice. He just had to fess up.
Admit it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, like, wait a minute. Let's just take like 5 steps back. Then there were questions last night about refunds. Like, okay, if people want refunds and they don't want to invest, will you honor that? Will you give them whatever contribution they had back? Yeah, sure, we'll give that back. Okay, well, what happens if 100% of the, because by the way, they had also moved like $700,000 of ETH, or you could contribute in a multitude of ways. It was ETH,
Sure.
Matic, DAI, or USDC. Just like they were accepting a whole bunch of different things.
Whatever
fine,
crypto you have, you can send us. I'm okay with that.
And so they moved some to exchanges and like sold it off, $700,000 worth. So that's really where the questions started happening. And then he's like, okay, well, what if 100% of people are requesting a refund? And he said, no problem, we could do that. And then if we need some extra funding, we'll just go the VC route. We were trying to avoid that by doing this whole sale, but no VC is giving you anything. They're not even going to talk to you. Like what? And then part of the project was that they had, one of the things lined up was a big bank partnership. The whole reason you did this sale is because no bank would give you any money. And that's just the reality. Like all of the articles about him, it's all public. All you have to do is Google his name. Everything is out there. It's just really unfortunate. Not to mention these things, these off-chain assets include real estate and commodities. Like this is going to be considered security. I don't know why anyone is going to invest in it. I don't know. There's some people that think, well, they got, so you guys know the prices, right? The NFT sale was $5, I think. And then the whitelist was going to be $15. And then I don't know what the public sale was going to launch at. I don't know. But so everyone that bought the NFTs, it was only $5. So I think some people think, well, they got in so cheap. That doesn't matter what, as long as it's more than $5, they're going to make money. So they're just staying in at this point. If it even makes it to, I don't know.
I think the biggest red flag here for me is the fact that these psychopaths wanted to run an NFT project and a DeFi project almost like simultaneously at the same time. Like that sounds awful. Like running an NFT project has got to be as hard as it, like, I can't even imagine how hard it is to be like deal with a community and all that stuff, much less run a DeFi
Do you guys
project,
know
how all that stuff at the same time.
Do you know how the NFTs worked?
No, I know nothing about Fiscus.
No.
Okay, so you could tell them there were 3 levels, $50, $1,000, and $10,000. I'm not sure what the max was that you could buy, but you could buy, I think there was a max, like on the $10,000 and the 1,000, there were maxes, but like on the 50, I think it was unlimited. I don't know, but you just told them, okay, I'm signing up for like X amount of each level. It was a Google form. And then you gave them your address and they would send the NFTs to you and then you would pay for them. Well, they got so many requests that didn't really, they just stopped that. Okay. And then at one point they're like, you know what? Forget this. Here's our address. Just send us the money. Just send us the crypto. And I don't know if the people that just sent crypto in got their NFTs, because I had mine sent to my address because I signed up right at the beginning. But I think they were just overwhelmed with the sheer volume of NFTs. Like I don't think they were prepared for that at all. So yeah, and then it wasn't an actual NFT project. It was just like the NFT represented your amount of token allocation. And then that's it, nothing else. Like, oh, actually, I take that back. You're right. There was utility with that. you would get some
like
type
utility.
of you would get some, if you held an NFT, you would get some sort of profit sharing or something. I don't know. Just yeah.
I expected
Kind
like
of like if
access.
you
Totally
had
not a
strong
security though.
NFTs,
Totally not a
right?
security.
Exactly.
No,
If you
definitely
have
not.
strong NFTs that boost your reward, like a similar concept. Oh, and then they said they were gonna ask David Moss to be one of the multi-sigs. That guy, you gotta be kidding me.
Allison, I have a very important question.
Yeah.
Did you have to go into crypto voxels for this at all for Fiscus DAO?
No.
Okay, good. That's a joke for like 4 people that are watching. There's some DeFi projects where you had to go play in crypto voxels.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
How did those projects do?
One we'll find out later. Eric and I are sweating a little bit. And the other one, not great. The other one is Cheese. Have you heard of Cheese, Allison?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. So that one you had to go play in crypto voxels and get the code or whatever. So yeah, not great, Bob. So here's the crazier part, Allison. You alluded to this earlier too. There are still some people who want to invest in this Fiscus DAO.
Yeah.
And the reason that they stated is, oh, this guy's doxxed. Therefore, can't do anything bad, right? He won't do anything wrong. I don't understand these people.
I don't either.
Is their reasoning just docs? They don't want to go to jail again? Is that as simple as it is?
Like, no one would be that stupid, but I mean, the guy's got 67 felonies or whatever. Like,
yeah, if you have,
he's literally telling you this is what I'm going to do. Like, the writing is literally on the wall.
He raised millions and millions just from that NFT sale, and then he was getting ready to run the whitelist sale, which would have been even larger than the NFT sale. So I think people were thinking, well, if he didn't run away after he got all of the crypto from the NFTs, everything's good. But he was just sticking around to get the rest. I don't know. I mean, there's that whole, like, people do screw up. You make mistakes and you should get a second chance, but you probably shouldn't try to do the exact same thing that you got charged with 67 felonies for. You know, like, you really want a second chance with that? I don't know what people are thinking.
The
It's
guy
really
can get a second
frustrating to
chance,
me.
but he should not be bootstrapping an NFT DeFi combo project, raising millions of dollars on promises. Yeah. That's just, I mean, if we were regulated, he would definitely not be the one, you know, he'd be the one getting cracked down on.
100%. So all of that was in the last week in DeFi world. So NFT world does move quickly. Maybe that's why I'm just tired, because I dove more into DeFi world and then this crap happens. I'm like,
yeah, it's been a lot.
Oh boy, that's a lot. So let's do a little shift. Trey before the show was talking about, oh, I want to get a little bit involved in DeFi. I might want to get into DeFi Kingdoms, which, as we all know, the top row here, Lou and I are DeFi Kingdom maxis in a way.
I am in DeFi Kingdoms.
You want to go more? You want to get deeper?
Yeah, because I have a decent amount. Nothing quite as crazy.
You're just in the pool.
I think you guys. I sent some ETH over back when it was like, I got in when the price was like less than $4.
$4, yeah.
So I got in before the pump. But I was thinking about doing more here when it dipped. And I'm just like, I haven't really gotten into the hero thing. I bought a couple for exposure to it, but I really just haven't spent the time to like dive in and figure out the questing and the summoning and like all the traits and shit. Like, it just seemed very overwhelming. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to keep my stuff in the Jewel 1 pool and just go in there every epoch and claim it and just do it that way. So I'm more the passive guy right now.
Hey, Trey. Pump's not here, so I can say this. It's safer this way. It's better where you are. I would almost trade spots with you. I'm almost at my limit of understanding the deepness of this game because it's incredible. There are NFTs in this DeFi game.
Yeah.
There are professions. There are traits. There is leveling. There's going to be crafting. There's runes. There's fish. There's questing. Like there's just so many things going on. They're building Zelda with DeFi, and it's crazy. And my brain's about to explode. Lou, have you ever felt like overwhelmed with DeFi kingdoms, or are you like, I would like more of this and just slurping it up? What's your take on the DeFi kingdoms?
Yeah, you can get pretty deep. What I like about it is you can, and this is something when people ask me about it now, it's like you can be as deep as you want. You can just invest in Jewel. Some people just buy Jewel and hope that the price of Jewel goes up. Some people want to get into just DeFi in liquidity pools in general. So it's a good way of like learning that. And it's a cooler interface. Or you can get into the heroes and then there's like game theory on what they're going to do down the line. And then they're adding like Avalanche platform and things like that. So they definitely keep adding layers, but it's the type of thing that you can get into it as much as you want.
Yeah. And I guess I definitely get that. I don't see how like the game itself, like for a game to be successful, you need it to be like super easy to onboard new people and for them to get like, for there to be like a really easy way for them to get introduced to the game and start playing it where they can just like get their feet wet. I feel like that's not there with DeFi kingdoms. Like, can you even call it a game really? Like, yeah. It's not even the bridging. It's like people can bridge, like people can follow Babs's instructions and get over the bridge just fine. At least I think. But it's like what I came to where I was like, okay, I got everything set up. Now I want to look into like these heroes and stuff. And then it's like, oh shit, like this is a lot. Like, it's not like you can just go like tootle around and like, oh, here's my first hero. And then start playing with it and kind of figure it out from there. Like, you need to do a pretty damn deep dive to really start that process. I guess maybe that's where I got stuck, and maybe I'm off on that.
If you want to play the game,
that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone hypes it up as this like big DeFi game, but how many people are actually going to be playing that?
What is really crazy for me personally is this would be a gigantic investment for me, is like dollar value that I'm looking at right now if I look at the mag page, but which means I should be investing a gigantic amount of time in this. But
you got town in your head now.
I know. Oh God, town bad. You're welcome. I should invest a lot of time in this, but people are talking about recessive traits of heroes and like, oh, what
sounds
kind of
really
like,
complicated.
It is,
Allison. It's bonkers.
I'm not playing complicated.
Well, it's just like the actual math behind it. Yeah. You don't have to go into like the actual math of what the % chance that you're going to get this class when you mate, the breeding process. Like, you don't have to get that deep into it. Just read the white paper once. You'll be good to go.
I did do that. I did read the white paper, which was fantastic.
That's what I'm saying, is like, it's as complicated as you want it to be. Like, you don't have to, like in Zed, you could go down what's the perfect horse for me to breed this horse with so that I can optimally, and you don't have to like do all that. Like, you can, but it just adds way more stress.
If this is what DeFi land is going to be like, I'm never going to make it in that game.
Okay, Allison, we're doing DeFi land. People are trying to back out on me here, but I'm trying to get into DeFi land.
Why? Yeah. I've been trying to get a code. Last week I was asking questions.
In the next couple days, they're having a beta starting in the next couple days, right?
Yeah, the public beta,
Yeah.
That's Thursday for token holders, right? Isn't it Thursday? I think it is.
Yeah, it was
Thursday
like within
8th?
72 hours or something.
So good news, everybody. Allison's going to hang out with us nerds more because she needs us for DeFi lands.
Yeah.
Right, but Gump, the point is, can you have two complicated things? That's what she's saying. She's already planning to have DeFi land be complicated.
So is this just going to be something where I can go stick my money in it, just like I am DeFi Kingdom, and like reap the rewards of all you degens like going in and actually playing the game? Like that's
Exactly right.
That sounds pretty
It's the
appealing
same
to
thing.
me. I mean,
It's on Solana,
yeah. Oh shit.
so it's
I do have some
arguably better for
Solana.
it.
I loaded up my
What are we doing?
Solana wallet with like 12 Solana back when it was like $30 and we were first trying Solana NFTs. I tried one drop, failed, and it has been sitting in there ever since.
Those were the days.
You're the
Those were
smartest man I've
days.
ever met, Trey.
I didn't get robbed like Dangy, which might still be a sore subject.
It's fine. It's over now. We will definitely help you with DeFi land. I do think it's a choose your adventure kind of thing where you can get deep in it if you want. You don't have to. These folks, they go like, it is a time sink, but it's money if you sink time into it. Not to the level currently of Vox, where if you spend time on Vox, then you can make a good amount of money if you have a good enough, I don't know what they are, NFT with them. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. There are plenty of people. Here's an example. Pranksy, who we discussed earlier in the show, is a whale who swept the art blocks curated. He bridged a bunch over into DeFi land. He has it sitting in the bank, which is not even in the liquidity pool. Fine. He's betting on, like somebody said, us nerds coming over, wanting to play the game, putting in our 200, 2,000, whatever dollars to buy heroes and play the actual game. So yeah, you can play it however you want. I think there's going to be value there in DeFi land for sure. All right, Allison. Way back when I DM'd you about coming on the show, and I said, "Hey, how did that auction go?" And I said, "Would you be willing to talk about it?" And you said, "Sure. Here's what happened." I go, "No. Save it for the show because I don't even know what happened." Are you willing to chat about the auction?
Yeah.
And if so, how did it go?
I am eager to hear this.
It was a disaster. Thankfully, my NFT was not in the auction. But it has hurt the floor really, really bad, to the point where I don't know, like I just said, I wasn't in that auction, so I didn't sign a contract. I don't know what the contract said, but I think that there would be grounds to break that contract if I had signed one. So this was supposed to be a charity auction. I mean, it was a charity auction ending on Giving Tuesday, and the proceeds were supposed to help a nonprofit, Sustento, that works with like frontline healthcare workers, giving supplies for clinics and whatever, stuff like that. And so a full set of the NFTs was going up for auction. But not only that, there was an opportunity to have commissioned an artwork, and if you wanted to, and put it in there as well. And so there were, I don't know how many pieces, but there were also a number of pieces that were created to go along with this, with the same thing, proceeds going to this charity. This was with Sotheby's Metaverse. And I think those are the most important details.
Was it the first time they did Sotheby's Metaverse? Like, was this the first
one of,
that specific?
They just announced another one today. I bet it's going to go just as poorly unless they fix the problems in a week, which I doubt.
That's just wondering.
So, first of all, there was a complete lack of advertising or PR or anything before the auction started. The announcement was due the day that Constitution DAO and the BAYC sale happened. So all of those events happened on the same day. So Sotheby's made a decision that they were going to postpone the announcement until Monday, which is fine, fair enough. Like, you don't want it getting lost in the news cycle. So Monday comes, there is an announcement, there's a Twitter Spaces, and then things start. Well, the problem started pretty much immediately. The auction site wasn't up and running right away. Like, it took hours for it to, Sotheby's Metaverse. It took hours for it to be up and running. There was no press on it, like none. And you would think that a lot of publications would have covered that because it was one of the first Sotheby's Metaverse auctions, because it was these Twitter NFTs. Everyone got them for free. Sotheby's has no experience with people getting things for free and then putting them up for auction. And so it was very unique. It was the first time they'd ever had an event like that. Then next problems were people couldn't really register on the site. There was problems being able to bid. It was the sustento, like additional pieces, which were, you know, the commissioned pieces. They weren't even on the Sotheby's Metaverse site. They were on the giving block, but there was no direction for anyone to know that, like, oh yeah, by the way, there's these, you know, 10 other pieces on this other website. They're actually connected to this main auction. It's all one event. No one knew where to go. Then the rep for the charity actually came. People had started raising some concerns, like, no one's hearing anything about this. I think people don't know about it. We haven't really seen it in the press. So he said, yeah, my team's working on a roadmap. We'll be posting it here tomorrow. Okay, so the besties, that's what like the group is called. Everyone was like instantly irritated by it for obvious reasons. And I just flat out said, not really sure. Sorry about that. I'm not really sure why we're supposed to be doing the PR and influencer outreach. Like that's your job. And then it's only because one of the besties, Siobhan Wong, she's another, she's an NFT artist. You may have heard of her. She is a holder of the Twitter NFTs. And she did a beautiful piece for the auction called The Hug. It was stunning. She's friends with O'Shiny. So she got us on the O'Shiny show. This was like the day that the auction was ending. I think that was Giving Tuesday, that day that O'Shiny episode happened. At this point, there wasn't even like 2 ETH bids across the board. So everyone is freaking out about it. The people with the NFTs are like so upset because they don't want to give their NFT up for 2 ETH. And Sotheby's, in the middle of this live Twitter Spaces, Sotheby's essentially rugged the auction. They legit just shut it off in the middle of the Spaces promoting the actual auction. And then there was one post by them that the auction was postponed. You'll hear back from us soon. That was it. None of the people that had their NFTs in the auction have heard from Sotheby's since. Sotheby's didn't clarify that it was due to like gross negligence on their end, with the auction site not working. Then the worst thing that could possibly happen was Vincent Van Gogh retweeted the Sotheby's post and just like tore it apart. Like he basically rugged a charity auction. What? Yeah, it was really bad. And there were a lot of comments. It was really bad. So there's been 3 sales in the past like 24 hours, varying from 8.5 ETH to 12.
I mean,
wow.
It had a floor of
that's
like
awful.
ETH.
Like, and that's the problem with like, I think we've seen that a couple times with like these like Sotheby's and Christie's not displaying the NFTs like in a way that would make them aesthetically pleasing, and people have just had issues with you know, these traditional auction houses that sell traditional art having a, you know, pretty tough time merging with like Web3 type stuff. And obviously, I mean, they dropped the ball completely there. Like you said, I mean, that's got to be grounds to break the contract. I mean, how does that even work?
So.
Did you have the option to put your NFT?
No, because
part of,
actually,
or was it just a few that got picked?
Yeah. So the person that organized the auction happened to hold the same one that I do. So I never had the option, but everyone else did. He just like put out a call in the group. If anyone wants to participate in this, let me know. It was like that.
Wow.
Yeah. And
that's crazy.
That person doesn't really seem all that nice. Someone named Cage Lawyer. You guys, one of you knows him. I feel like someone in Club MGMI knows him because they sent me a message telling me like, I also know someone that has a Twitter NFT. Anyway, this guy pretty much spoke up for the entire group of people. He said what everyone was either unwilling or unable to articulate. And the auction organizer, the NFT holder, did not take it well and basically told him to stop whining and go F off. It's really something. I don't know. Hopefully it'll recover. I mean, I always said I didn't pay anything for it, so it's fine. Like, I haven't lost anything. I mean, knowing that I could have sold it for like in between this range of a lot of money, it sucks, but it isn't affecting my life in one way or the other. Like, I'm very lucky that it doesn't change my life at all. I hope it recovers though, because I did have plans in the future when you could take loans against NFTs or whatever, high value assets, to use it in that way. We'll see. Maybe like the historical aspect will, I have no idea. But also Vincent Van Gogh actually did want to buy one, and he was really angry. That's why he tweeted about it, that he had set 3 alarms for the last hour of the auction, because he has one of those Twitter egg NFTs, and he wanted Reply Guy to go with that. So he was really pissed.
Hit him up, say, hey, you just send me 20 ETH. We'll go 50-50 on this.
I mean, if anyone's trying to get one now, the floor is like next to nothing, so it would be easy to collect one. I don't know who still has theirs up for sale. But I'm just going to hold it and see what happens.
That's a major bummer.
Yeah, it is. But, what can you do?
I mean, even if you got it for free,
the upside is like...
You saw the number. Yeah.
Vincent Van Gogh he's not anti those NFTs. He's anti Sotheby's and how they treated the NFT world, right?
Yeah.
So there's upside there. We've recently, in our channel, we've talked about OpenSea and going the IPO route, which means not rewarding their current users who have been printing money for them for a long time this year. Not a long time, printing a lot of money in a short period of time for them this year, and a few years past. But we want competition. So I wonder if there's a Web3 native auction house that would be accepted, because the advantage of Sotheby's having NFTs is we could get non-crypto native money into the ecosystem through that auction house. And Sotheby's is a reputable name. This is a Web3 kind of weirdo space. How do we kind of bridge that gap? So I wonder if that's one arena that could go in the future for charity auctions like this. Because I think that's your bags, that's terrible. I can't, like, that feeling is the worst. Like, losing money is one thing, but like losing expected money hurts so bad, at least for me.
Yeah.
So that sucks so much. And the fact that it was a charity auction too. So that hurts even more. I'm like, oh.
And it was like, it was supposed to be so legit. Like, it had everything for the makings of a good NFT drop, and just, a premium, like, roll out the red carpet type thing, white glove treatment. And it just didn't get that, which is
I don't understand. I don't think anyone does. But I mean, it is what it is. No one can, like, the damage is done at this point. It cannot be undone. The only thing that can potentially undo it is time. So just gotta wait it out.
I don't know. I think there's hope, just because it's Web3 versus Web2, normie, VC fund, that kind of thing. That narrative is definitely in play as far as the anti-Sotheby's kind of stuff. So I think there's hope in the future, specifically for that collection and for, as we discussed, your bags, Allison. So thank you for sharing that story. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
I know it was kind of it was a good cliffhanger from last time when we chatted about your bags and what those looked like.
I mean, I was forward. Like so pumped about this, but
I mean, rightfully so. I mean, you should be pumped about something like that. I mean, I mean, the way that they dropped it and everything leading up to the auction was perfect. It seems like it was more just the execution.
All right, Allison. Yeah. So we've asked you before, and I know Trey said he's got to run in a little bit. So before Trey goes, do you have any alpha for us or any projects you're looking out for in the near future? Yeah, Lou's excited. Lou woke up for this one. What do you
I
have
don't
on the
think that I
docket?
have anything.
DeFi land.
I was about to say you had one right there.
Is that alpha though? Doesn't everyone know about it? We've already talked about it.
I
That's
don't.
why.
I didn't. So I'll be getting into
DeFi
that.
land.
But I've been
Okay,
MIA
awesome.
the last like 2 weeks.
I think it's going to be really complicated though, so I'm a little nervous about it. But the minute that the public beta opens, I'm jumping in there.
Let me give you a little lesson in content as a content creator, Allison. Okay, you can call it alpha even when it's not alpha. You can just say it's alpha, and then
Just
people
say
will
it's
think it
alpha.
is. Just say it is. It's fine. Yeah, we already talked about it. But the alpha is we already gave you the alpha, so take it and then run with it.
Okay, wait, maybe I have something.
Oh, look at her getting on her phone too.
This
She's
is
got to like look
amazing.
it up. This could be some good shit.
I don't really know if it is.
She's got to
because I
like
had
go into the depths of her
just-
notes app. Yeah.
I had just.
Are you in your
started
DMs? Is it in your
looking-
DMs
no,
right now?
No, I'm not. Just reading some.
You don't have
Oh.
to show me.
Screen
You
share
can't
that
read
one.
it. Okay, so this is a token that's just launched. I think like within the past month. It's called MetaCoin. Does anyone know about it?
Yeah, I've heard of MetaCoin.
Like $sign
you
META.
No, MEDA. Like D is in
Oh
dog.
no,
Ooh, okay.
Duh.
Okay.
Meta.
flipped it on its head. What is MetaCoin?
Okay, there's a game called Meta Bots, and apparently it was like a really well-known
God.
Japanese TV show, like back in the day, maybe when we were all growing up. Some of us are older than others. I get the impression that that was around the time frame that it was on. They are now turning that into a blockchain-based NFT strategy game set to okay, first of all, around Christmas, it's coming out in the App Store.
So they
iPhone
can
and the
get away
Google
with-
Store. I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work. We'll see. But it's also gonna launch on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, and Xbox, and there'll be like a PC version.
It's not launching
100
around
billion.
Christmas. It's launching
Oh,
on
it's launching
Christmas.
on Christmas. Oh, okay. Yeah. But it's real cheap.
So
So if you
you'll be
just
able to
want to take
buy
a shot.
with your $40 jewel some meta coins.
Yeah,
That's
when I
right.
say it's cheap, it's like not even 1 cent.
I'm excited.
Interesting.
Oh, it's Binance. Oh, it's BSC. Oh, fun. Those are fun.
We'll see. Like, yeah, I
I
probably
need
should have
to-
mentioned that. Sorry,
I need
but
to
I
get
just
BSC.
found out about this today, so I have not even done much research on it yet. I watched a few videos on YouTube.
So,
and
Allison,
that was about it.
what's your price target by end of the year? It's a joke. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
What are your
Like how you
art chick?
immediately say joke.
Well, I just wanted her to know, like, because she doesn't know my sense of humor as well. Like, calling for a price target, like, I don't care. It'd be very silly to give me a price target right
Up
here.
only.
Trey gets it. Trey gets it for sure. Okay. Lou, do you have anything coming up that you're interested in NFT wise, coin wise?
I get maybe while we have Allison on, like, are you concerned about time
Oh my God.
in general?
Me.
The coin.
The coin
I'm not
time?
in time.
Oh, I thought you were.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Are you guys concerned about it? Is the question.
No.
There are lots of people who seem concerned about it. It's down kind of bad recently.
Just pull
Danny's
the
been saying some
calculator.
weird stuff. Like, did you see that tweet earlier, Dangy? I shared it in our Club DeFi.
Yeah,
It's
and I don't
not
want
safe
to
for
pull it up.
work. Don't put
Don't wanna
it
pull it
up on the screen. But yeah, is that something that you want the leader of a coin to be doing? Then there was MCC was the other one that
Oh my
like
God.
were they a rug?
was in
Were they
that.
not a rug? So
I pretty much lost all my money in them.
yeah, like a lot of people are losing like
Not all my
over
money, but
80% of their coins.
Jeez.
And it's just it does seem like it's a little worrisome in some of these places right now. It seems like there's a little more risk than maybe there seemed to be a couple weeks ago.
I mean, is that thing at 0 yet? MCC?
MCC? I don't think so.
Maybe I
But,
just directly get back.
If Katana's not at 0, then MCC shouldn't be at 0.
Yeah, I guess
It's
just
crazy.
kind of trying to just float along right now, not get too deep into any specific thing. Like I already have DeFi Kingdoms, which I'm pretty deep in. So just kind of watching from afar in some things and making sure the market is generally like strong enough to go into other things. But I mean, I think this past weekend showed that a lot of people have some pretty packed backs, and don't over lever yourself, because I think a lot of people got exposed by that this past weekend, and it was kind of crazy. But yeah, just make sure you're taking profits every once in a while, because I think some people have to get told that. Other people are doing that on their own. But yeah, I think don't spread yourself too thin either.
Trey, do you have anything you're looking forward to this upcoming week?
Getting back in the Discord and just in general getting not sitting on my ass and watching Netflix 24/7 like I have been the last like week and a half. My routines are so off, it's kind of crazy. So it just feels weird. So excited to kind of like get back in my normal routine, back in the Discords. And like I said, I kind of want to deploy some of that ETH. So I'll be figuring out what to do with that this week.
I like that.
Sounds like maybe time isn't the right place to put it.
I mean, it's one of the better entry points.
Okay.
That's, I mean,
yeah,
it's you're getting like a $3,000 discount on it right now.
Yeah,
it's true. So, Allison, do you have anything you're looking at this upcoming week, NFT wise or otherwise?
No. No, I was actually looking up something right now that I was going to tell you guys about. It's this project called Nodal Cash. Has anyone heard of it? It's like Helium, but on your phone. And the reason that I like it is I think that anyone can participate in it. And we know even in developing nations, everyone has a cell phone. And I think that is... it's difficult for people in some of these countries to get a Helium miner, but they already have cell phones. So I think that alone makes the project slightly better than Helium.
Are you a Helium person?
Yeah, I do. I have a Helium miner, but it's not doing too great right now. I need to do something with it. Like, I think I need a better antenna. I don't know. I'm not technical with stuff like that, so I really need someone to help me.
We can talk. There's some Helium people around.
Yeah, well, Nodal Cash is just an app you can download on your phone, and there's like a little map like this, and they're in a parachain auction now. So we'll see. I'm just gonna keep doing it and hope that it doesn't cost me anything. So it takes the same kind of data as it's like I think the project lead is French. I've been in their Discord for a long time, like since early spring.
So they're tracking your phone? GPS?
Yeah, I think so. It's really strange though. Like if you have a Android phone, it works a lot better than it does on iPhone, like most of these things. I mean, that's a surprise.
Weird.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Weird.
So, and unfortunately, I have
Lou and I
iPhone.
are on the same page. Yeah. So there's not an old saying, but there's a saying if something's free, then you're the product or whatever, or you're the thing that you're being sold. Yeah. I guarantee you, they're selling your personal data related to that. That's not. I'm not putting a value judgment on that.
You should have it happens.
Maybe that's I'll look at it for sure. That's my hunch. That's what's happening. I'm personally interested in Clone X to see what happens when they reveal.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's a biggie.
Did you guys all get into it?
I got
I
in and
thought
out.
about buying, and then I didn't end up. I was there. I saw that Dutch as it was happening, and I just decided not to buy.
Trey's just been
But
out
it
of the
looked like-
game for the past couple weeks.
Yeah, right. Well, I saw it. I was trying to decide whether I wanted to jump in at that price, but
That was like the type of thing that if you're going to jump into something, at least, you know, you didn't have to do as much research on that versus like these random little projects.
well, those are the projects that I'm quite honestly trying to avoid, is because it was just like constant bleeding ETH. Like I don't like bleeding ETH, especially right now when I still think that there's room left to run. I mean, in the bull run, I mean, I'm not just minting those stupid little projects, and then, they end up going to zero. That's just not, it's not quite the same as it was back over the summer.
But the Ape Yacht Club kids, whatever, I thought that was one of those. I put that in the category of like dumb little project. And then look at them go. I don't understand it. And there's Desperate Ape Wives. What is that?
I don't understand that one
So,
at all.
The Desperate Ape Lives apparently have been killing it at these in real life events. They were at the NFT NYC, and then something happened with them in Art Basel that set this one off. But I guess they've been doing really cool like community and in-person events. But I mean, that one's what, like 1.5 ETH floor. And that one, most people I feel like agree, like not the best looking art.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I'm shocked at that.
It just boggles the mind.
But then again, I minted Alpha Girls Club yesterday, so in my opinion, it's not really, it's not really worth very much lately.
It happens. It happens. In honor of our DeFi conversation, I want to share it one more time, and then we'll get out of here. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow Lou Dog on Twitter. Are you Lou Dog Sports or Lou Dog?
Lou Dog Sherman.
Lou Dog Sherman
on Twitter.
Yeah. Follow at CP Trey on Twitter. Allison, what's your Twitter handle?
My name, Allison Newell.
Perfect. Do you want to plug anything else?
No.
Great. Allison has another Discord that I ended up joining earlier this week that she's not plugging, but whatever. If you want me to chat about it.
I can't believe you didn't even tell me.
Show.
None of you told me that you joined.
It's fine. Well, we didn't know it was yours. We just
lurking in the shadows.
Oh.
Well, we got into DeFi DGen stuff, and then we're like, oh, these people have good alpha, and it's Allison's people. Alpha Allison. Follow me on Twitter at Dangy
for you anymore.
That's true. That's true. We're getting in ourselves.
It's funny how that works. Like alpha is basically just being in the right Discord, essentially.
Yeah.
And being able to send it to a different Discord where you're the one that has the alpha.
Yeah.
I've been chasing Storm's alpha the entire year, and I have not found it yet. Because I want Storm's alpha because he's like
Storm's just sharp. He's just sharp.
And he's sharp and he's early. On Cheese, he's like, oh, what are you doing? Where have you been, Storm? He's like, oh, I've been playing in Crypto Voxels. And then the next day, we learned about Cheese, which was in Crypto Voxels. So he was literally a day early. So now I know if he says he's just hanging out in Crypto Voxels, I got to go sniffing around, finding where that is. So follow the show on Twitter at clubngmi. Thank you all for hanging out. Let me find, what do I want?
So the market cap is $2.168 trillion. And now the market, it went to zero. Yeah!